Hello, this is J183, and this is my review of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Where on earth do I start with this? It was an unbelievable race, start to finish. There was action everywhere, and the winner, if you missed it, was Daniel Ricciardo with his first win of the season in a Red Bull, which is on paper not anywhere near the top two teams really, Ferrari and Mercedes. But it was unbelievable. Though the start of the race was pretty chaotic. I think there was only one major incident, which was the Bottas-Raikkonen incident in turn two, where Bottas got a puncture. Raikkonen also got a front wing damage, I think, and then ended up like didn't really come together for him. He ended up out of the race far at the end. But Bottas on the other hand ended up second place after the puncture on lap one and going to last on the grid. He overtook Lance Stroll across the line and beat him by a tenth of a second after being a lap down on lap one. So Bottas with an unbelievable drive back to second. Lance Stroll also with an unbelievable drive to third. There was like great drives everywhere. So yeah, the top three: Ricciardo, Bottas, Stroll. So the race was it was pretty exciting. Kvyat, Palmer, and Verstappen all retired, and then but when Kvyat retired, they threw out a safety car. I think around lap 18 or something. That was out for a while, and then when the safety car came in, it was the two Force Indias of Ocon and Perez in third and fourth, with Massa fifth and Stroll sixth. So at that point, the two Force Indias came to blows in turn two, with Perez damaging his front wing and ended up retiring at the end, likewise with Raikkonen, and Ocon with a puncture dropped him right to the back of the grid. So Force India self-destructing even more than Canada. So yeah, not too good for them at that point, but that allowed Massa and Stroll to go up to third and fourth, and then that ended up, because of the debris, they put out another safety car for a few laps. At that point it was, I think, so it was Hamilton and Vettel leading with the two Force Indians, as I said, but they crashed. So it was Hamilton, Vettel, Massa, I think, Stroll, and then Ricciardo. I'm trying to remember all this. There was so much going on, it's hard to think of it all. But then the second safety car restart, that was when the real drama began. So Vettel, like through the turn 11 at Baku, Hamilton drove very, very slowly. It wasn't a sudden stop, but it was dangerously slowly, I'd say. So Vettel ended up accidentally crashing into the rear end, lost quite a major part of his front wing. So yeah, Hamilton didn't get any damage. Well, he got minor damage on his diffuser, but then so Vettel, obviously very, very annoyed, just pulled alongside Hamilton and drove into him completely. So they didn't get any damage from it, but even so, Vettel, a naughty boy with that. And after that restart, when it was Magnussen up into third for a bit, I can't remember. I think Ricciardo, that was it. Ricciardo overtook Magnussen and Hulkenberg and Stroll. And yeah, that Ricciardo basically overtook everyone in that stint. And then very quickly again, the safety car came out for debris everywhere, and then a red flag came out after that. So yeah, the race was stopped for a bit, but that was not the end of the action, as the red flag was out, and Vettel ended up getting a 10-second stop-go penalty for his antics with Hamilton. So when and Hamilton was leading by quite a distance from Ricciardo and Stroll after the safety car restart, but Magnussen was in third for a reasonable amount, because Hamilton's headrest came off, and it was very dangerous. So very, very unlucky for Hamilton. I actually feel for him. I'm not a Hamilton fan, but that was a win in the bag that he lost just because of the headrest. So Hamilton had to pit. So he pitted a few laps before Vettel did his stop-go penalty, and then when Vettel came out, it was still ahead of Hamilton. So I just think that Vettel was very lucky today to not get a harsher penalty, because if that was the one time I can think of a similar incident was Spa 2011 in qualifying, when Maldonado drove straight into the side of Hamilton and he got disqualified and had to start from the back of the qualifying session. So I just think Vettel probably should have got a harsher penalty or disqualified from the race, but even so, I ended up finishing fourth place. Once those two had those issues, the order was Ricciardo, Stroll, and then it was Kevin Magnussen for quite a while in third before Ocon overtook Magnussen. After having a puncture and being last just before the red flag, was then in third place for a bit. So Esteban Ocon, another very good drive after messing up quite badly. But Magnussen was in third for a good 6 or 7 laps until Bottas turned up, overtook both those two drivers, Ocon and Magnussen, and then the climax really was Bottas catching Stroll by about a second and a half a lap by the end, and overtook Stroll over the line side by side across the massive long straight in Baku. So yeah, that was very good for Bottas. But Ocon and Magnussen ended up 6th and 7th, very decent for them, as by the end Vettel and Hamilton both overtook them too. And then Hulkenberg, I don't know what to say really. I'm a Hulkenberg fan. Very, very annoyed that he was as fast as Stroll and Magnussen and Ocon, and just bottled it and turned in too early and hit the wall, broke his suspension. Very, very disappointing, but he's still finished ahead of his teammate as usual, to be fair. But then, so next in line was Carlos Sainz. Didn't really see much at all of Sainz. He spun on lap 1, I remember that, because Kvyat went wide, came back onto track. Sainz sort of overcorrected, and then just turned way too much, lost the back end and spun and was last on lap 1 until the issues with Bottas and Raikkonen put him up a few positions. But then Alonso getting McLaren's first points of the season at the least likely track, I'd probably say, for them to get points, and then Pascal Wehrlein getting another point for Sauber. So Sauber is still ahead of McLaren. So yeah, McLaren will be happy with a point, with 2 points. Sauber will also be happy with with another point for Wehrlein. And if I just take a look at the constructors, yeah, Sauber now on 5, McLaren on 2. So pretty decent for those two teams. But that race was gripping from start to finish. The best race of the season, the best race. Last one I can think of that was that nerve-wracking and exciting was probably Brazil last season. Probably before that, you'd be going back to like Abu Dhabi 2012 or something like that for another race that was so exhilarating. And last season, Baku got quite a lot of stick because it was such an awful race. But this year, the drivers were much less cautious, and it paid off as we got the most exciting race in a very long time. The drive of the day for me was Valtteri Bottas, as he came back from last place and a lap down to finish second. But Ricciardo with the win. Verstappen also the unluckiest driver this season. He's retired from 4 races out of the 8, and all of the retirements have been from good positions. So yeah, that was very unlucky. Massa also unlucky today, was ahead of Stroll, or he was racing Stroll for 3rd or 2nd when he retired with, I think, a broken suspension of some sort. So very disappointing for those 2 drivers. But then that is going to be the end of this video. It was the most exciting race for a very long time. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. This has been J183, and I will see you next time.